Every day, something dramatic happens in the Caribbean that affects our lives. We'll give you the details. We'll give you the facts on Caribbean Perspective with Eddie Frederick. Host Eddie Frederick.
Welcome to Caribbean Perspective. So glad you can join us. The story that takes the lead in today's edition for Monday, 8th April 2024, and brought to you in association with our friends at Antillean Group. St. Lucians, and by extension the rest of the Lesser Antilles, urged to be vigilant as 2024 hurricane season forecasted with record activity. Details after this important message.
Believe in our strength, we'll stand by you. Protection from all, perils big and small. Reassurance we give, it's so clear to see. Peace of mind, that's our service guarantee. We look after all our family. Yes, we do at every opportunity.
Antillean Group, underwriters of all classes of insurance solutions for your protection and investment. Live well financially.
Welcome back. St. Lucians are asked to be vigilant because weather experts have predicted that the 2024 Atlantic hurricane season could be one of the most active on record. A Colorado State University outlook has forecast 23 storms, 11 of which will become hurricanes. The hurricane season runs from June to November. DBS's Zane Romulus begins our news coverage.
The first pre-season forecast for the 2024 hurricane season is out, and if it holds true, this will be another busy one in the Atlantic Ocean. The meteorology team at Colorado State University has predicted 23 storms, with 11 of them potentially developing into hurricanes, 5 of which could reach Category 3 or above.
Together with that, we also have the warm sea surface temperatures that came about from last year. And this would actually be good conditions for formation of tropical storms, so which is not a good signal for us.
This is the most hurricanes ever predicted by the Colorado State University unit since it began issuing its preseason forecast in 1995. Citizens have been cautioned to brace for an extremely active hurricane season.
The other entities have not really put out the predictions. It will come closer to the hurricane season. But for now, based on what we are observing and what the Colorado State University have predicted, we were anticipating a very active season. And we're hoping that persons would take the necessary precautions because, yes, every year the tropical storms form and come across, and not all the time we get affected. But then it's better to be prepared than to be caught wanted. So I'm urging persons to take the necessary precautions, do your hurricane plan, get everything in order, trim your overhanging trees, and make sure all you have your supplies in case that we do get we are affected by a tropical system this year.
The Atlantic hurricane season takes place every year from June 1st to November 30th. However, there are times when tropical cyclones happen before or after the official season. Last month, meteorologists at AccuWeather forecasted a potential early start to the season due to the convergence of La Nina climatic conditions and record-high ocean temperatures. For the DBS News World, I am Zane Romulus.
ZNS News reports Director General of Tourism of the Bahamas, Latia Duncombe, breaks down the outstanding tourism numbers as the archipelago prepares for a boom this year.
Start of the year for the Bahamas that saw nearly 2 million tourist arrivals within the first 2 months of this year.
Total air and sea arrivals is at 1.86 million. January to February, which is up compared to last year's same period.
At the time, tourist arrivals were 1.66 million. Director General of Tourism Latia Duncombe shared this year's impressive figures at the recent Bahamas Hotel and Tourism Association Board of Directors meeting, noting the increase reflects a 49.5% jump when compared to tourism's record-breaking 2019. The news comes as the Bahamas continues to bask in the glow of last year's record more than 9.65 million visitor arrivals.
Everyone likes to hone in on, certainly we do, is the stopover component. And cumulatively, we're looking at 313,000 year to date, which is a 3% increase over 2019 and a 7% increase over last year.
Duncombe also shared the numbers specific to cruise arrivals that have also seen a jump.
1.55 million year to date for 2024, which is a 64% increase over 2019 and a 13.5% increase over 2023. So we're really pleased about the performance.
The news comes despite the Bahamas weathering international bad press after the U.S. State Department issued a Level 2 travel advisory in January, warning its citizens about crime.
It was all hands on deck. It was listening to the sentiments. It was tracking social media. It was understanding the engagement internationally. But more importantly, it was to share our story and to make sure everyone knew that the destination is safe, warm, and welcoming.
For the Bahamas Tonight, I'm Cleopatra Murphy.
You're listening to Caribbean Perspective with Eddie Frederick, in association with our friends at
Antillean Group, underwriters of all classes of insurance solutions for your protection and investment. Live well financially.
Bank of Jamaica in the hot seat. $1 billion losses spark investigation. CVM's Ramon Gordon reports.
In the coming days, the Bank of Jamaica, BOJ, will face Parliament to address concerns over $1 billion losses incurred by account holders nationwide. Recent reports have unveiled a surge in fraudulent schemes targeting customers over the past several months, resulting in staggering financial setbacks. Member of Parliament for St. Catherine South Fitz-Jackson had raised the issue in Gordon House last December, when he then presented the motion to convene a meeting with the island's central bank. The Economy and Production Committee supported the resolution on Wednesday. However, it failed to reach consensus on the rules of engagement.
When there are losses through theft, fraud, or what have you, that's a criminal activity. So we can't address that element of it without involving the JCF. A very senior member of the JCF contacted me about the problem they're having with the number of persons coming to them to report losses in the banks, because when they go to the banks tell them to go to the police, and the police don't know what to do.
However, the committee chair, Member of Parliament for Clarendon Northern, Dwight Sibley's, thinks involving police from the onset may be premature.
I know all of these banks. They do have investigative units. Let us wait until the Bank of Jamaica is here and we can ask the question, and from that we can know how to go forward.
The chairman faced fiery pushback.
What you are suggesting, do the BOJ then go to the JCF? To be honest with the chairman, that would be a gross waste of time.
The JCF is struggling with aspects of this. We're not calling them here to discuss any specific case. We're talking about the experience.
Why are we restricting ourselves? It is opening ourselves to more information and knowledge. That's why we call agencies. We don't know it all.
After much debate, the committee leaned in Jackson's favor, deciding to invite police alongside the BOJ to discuss the reports of fraud at local banks. Last year, MP Jackson revealed that account holders have collectively lost nearly $1 billion and are facing challenges in recovering their funds. He had called for minimum service standards for automated teller machines, ATMs, operated by BOJ licensees, along with sanctions for non-compliance. The BOJ announced it would implement said standards on Tuesday, ahead of the Economy and Production Committee meeting today. Despite that, the committee still believes the BOJ has some questions to answer come May 1. Ramon Gordon for CVM News.
During his Thursday media briefing, Vice President of Guyana, Barrett Jack Deo's remarks suggested he might be gearing up for the upcoming 2025 general and regional elections. He accused the parliamentary opposition of attempting to rig the elections a claim that signals the start of a potentially heated pre-election period. HGP's Dacia Richards elaborates on the Vice President's accusations and the implications for the political climate leading up to the 2025 general elections.
Vice President Barra Jagdeo, as he continues to bash the opposition, a Partnership for National Unity, APNU, with claims that the party will do whatever it takes to regain power, including rigging the upcoming general and regional elections.
If you have a party like the PNC that uses race as a mobilizing tool, and secondly, that wants to rig elections to get into office, you can't change that by toying with the Constitution.
Jagdeo also accused past President David Granger of defying the Constitution in his appointment of chairman of the Guyana Elections Commission, GECOM. The vice president, who has been accused of corruption and the matter currently engaging the United Nations Human Rights Commission, as highlighted in the commission's recent hearing, went on to accuse the opposition of violating a 25-year-old mechanism for the appointment of a GECOM chair.
Everyone understanding that the method of appointment, and then you had a government that came in and violated that. So how do you prevent parties from trying to rig elections?
Jagdeo also pointed out that the pivotal role played by the Ethnic Relations Commission in ensuring that political parties adhere to the Constitution, which governs general and regional election. Political parties are already in election mode, with the Vice President already announcing that the next general and regional elections will be held in November 2025. For AGP Nightly News, I am Dacia Richards.
The government of Guyana, meantime, has issued a stern warning to the Bolivarian Republic of Venezuela, as well as to the Caribbean and Latin American region and the broader international community regarding its stance on sovereignty. Tiana Cole of HGP Nightly News provides coverage of Guyana's position, including the context of this declaration and its implications for relations with Venezuela and international diplomatic efforts.
The Ministry of Foreign Affairs and International Cooperation, in a press statement, said that the government of Guyana has taken note of the action taken by the President of the Bolivarian Republic of Venezuela to promulgate, quote-unquote, the organic law for the defense of Guyana's Essequibo. The statement added that Venezuela's attempt is to annex more than two-thirds of Guyana's sovereign territory and make it part of Venezuela. Says the ministry noted is an egregious violation of the most fundamental principles of international law enshrined in the United Nations Charter, the Charter of the Organization of the American States, and customary international law. It also contradicts the letter and spirit of the joint declaration of the Argyle for Dialogue and Peace between Guyana and Venezuela, agreed to on December 14, 2023, in St. Vincent and the Grenadines. This unlawful act calls into question Venezuela's obligation to abide by the principles of that declaration, the ministry noted. In light of this, the government of the Cooperative Republic of Guyana wishes to put on notice the government of the Bolivarian Republic of Venezuela, the governments of the Caribbean Community and the Latin American and Caribbean Community of Nations, as well as the Secretary General of the United Nations and the Secretary General of the Organization of the American States, that it will not support the annexation, seizure, or occupation of any part of its sovereign territory. The Guyana government reiterates that it has always stood by the principles of the United Nations Charter, the rule of law, and the peaceful settlement of disputes. It is as a result of the 1966 Geneva Agreement, to which Venezuela and Guyana are parties, that the International Court of Justice has ruled that it has jurisdiction to make a decision on the case brought before it by Guyana regarding the validity of the 1899 arbitral award, which definitively settled the land boundary between the two countries. Further, the offensive and undignified statements made by President Nicolas Maduro about the President of the Cooperative Republic of Guyana have not gone unnoticed. 2 weeks ago, lawmakers in Venezuela, allied with the government of Maduro, approved the creation of a new state in Guyana's Essequibo, despite an ongoing international court case. Tiana Ko reporting for the HGP Nightly News.
I am Eddie Frederick. This has been Caribbean Perspective, a whole new approach to highlighting developments in the Caribbean.
In the meantime, please follow us on Facebook and subscribe to our YouTube channel for daily regional news and more, in association with our friends at Antillian Group.
Believe in our strength, we'll stand by you. Protection from all perils, big and small. Reassurance we give, it's so clear to see. Peace of mind, that's our service guarantee. We look after all our family. Yes, we do at every opportunity.
Antillian Group, underwriters of all classes of insurance solutions for your protection and investment. Live well financially.